Welcome, beautiful souls, to today's video, a deep dive into something truly transformative, the gift of forgiveness, a journey to healing. If you've ever felt weighed down by anger, resentment, or hurt, this video is for you. We're going to explore how forgiveness can set you free, heal your heart, and open the door to a brighter future. So, grab a cozy blanket, a cup of tea, and let's embark on this journey together. But first, let's start with a moment of reflection. Let us begin with a short prayer. Dear God, guide us today as we explore the path to forgiveness. Grant us the strength to release our burdens, the wisdom to embrace compassion, and the courage to heal our hearts. May this journey bring us closer to peace and love. Amen. Thank you for joining me in that moment of peace. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both deeply personal and universally relevant. Forgiveness isn't just a buzzword, it's a powerful act of self-liberation that can change your life. Whether you're struggling to forgive someone who hurt you, or even yourself, this video will guide you through the why, the how, and the incredible benefits of forgiveness. Let's get started. Before we talk about forgiveness, let's address the elephant in the room, resentment. You know that heavy feeling in your chest when you think about someone who wronged you? That's resentment, and it's like carrying a backpack full of rocks everywhere you go. It's exhausting, isn't it? Let's break down how holding on to anger and bitterness impacts us in three key ways: emotionally, physically, and in our relationships. Emotionally, resentment is like a storm cloud that follows you around. It colors everything: your thoughts, your mood, your outlook on life. When you hold on to anger, it's like replaying a hurtful moment on a loop in your mind. Maybe someone betrayed you, lied to you, or let you down in a big way. Each time you think about it, you feel that sting all over again. It's like picking at a wound that never gets a chance to heal. Studies in psychology, like those from the American Psychological Association, show that chronic anger and resentment can lead to increased anxiety, depression, and even a sense of hopelessness. Why? Because when you're focused on what hurt you, it's hard to make space for joy, gratitude, or hope. You might find yourself snapping at loved ones, feeling irritable, or just stuck. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had a falling out with a close friend. They said something that cut deep, and I couldn't let it go. Every time I saw their name pop up on my phone, my stomach would knot up. I'd replay our argument, thinking of all the things I should have said. It consumed me. I wasn't sleeping well, I was distracted at work, and I felt like a shadow of myself. That's the emotional toll of resentment: it steals your peace. But here's the thing: resentment doesn't just hurt you. It spills over into every area of your life. Which brings us to the next impact: your physical health. You might be thinking, wait, how does holding a grudge affect my body? Well, your mind and body are deeply connected. When you're stuck in a cycle of anger, your body feels it too. Research from places like the Mayo Clinic shows that chronic stress from resentment can wreak havoc on your physical health. Here's how it works. When you're angry or bitter, your body goes into fight-or-flight mode. Your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure rises, and stress hormones like cortisol flood your system. Over time, this can lead to serious issues like heart problems. Studies link chronic anger to a higher risk of heart disease and hypertension. Weakened immune system. Stress suppresses your body's ability to fight off illness, making you more prone to colds or infections. Digestive issues. Ever felt sick to your stomach when you're upset? That's resentment talking. Sleep disturbances. Racing thoughts about a grudge can keep you up at night, leaving you exhausted. I remember reading about a study where participants who held on to grudges had higher cortisol levels than those who practiced forgiveness. It's like resentment is a slow poison, quietly harming your body while you're focused on the person who hurt you. Let me ask you this: have you ever noticed physical symptoms when you're angry? Maybe a tight chest, a headache, or just feeling drained. That's your body begging you to let go. Now, let's talk about how resentment affects the people around you. When you're carrying anger, it's like you're wearing tinted glasses, everything looks darker, and you project that onto your relationships. You might push people away, become less patient, or even take out your frustration on those who don't deserve it. Think about it: if you're upset with a coworker, you might come home and snap at your partner or kids. Or maybe you withdraw, shutting out the people who care about you. Resentment builds walls, and those walls can strain even the strongest bonds. I'll share another example. My cousin, Sarah, went through a tough divorce a few years back. She was so hurt by her ex that she couldn't talk about anything else. It was like her pain became her identity. Over time, her friends stopped calling as often, and family gatherings felt tense. It wasn't that people didn't care, they just didn't know how to reach her through the wall of resentment she'd built. Research backs this up. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that people who hold grudges report lower satisfaction in their friendships and romantic relationships. Why? Because resentment makes it hard to trust, to be vulnerable, or to show up fully for others. So, to sum it up, resentment weighs you down emotionally, harms your physical health, and damages your relationships. It's like a chain holding you back from living your best life. But here's the good news: there's a way to break free. And that's where forgiveness comes in. Now that we've seen the heavy cost of resentment, let's talk about the antidote: forgiveness. But before we dive into how to forgive, we need to understand what forgiveness really is, and what it's not. Because there are a lot of misconceptions out there, and clearing those up will set the stage for healing. First things first, forgiveness does not mean saying, "What you did was okay." It's not about excusing bad behavior or pretending the hurt didn't happen. If someone betrayed you, lied, or caused you pain, that was real, and it's valid to feel hurt. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, it's about choosing how you carry it into the future. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine your heart is a house, and resentment is a pile of junk cluttering up the rooms. Forgiveness isn't about saying the junk was never there, it's about cleaning it out so you have space to live. You're not condoning the mess, you're just refusing to let it define your home. I used to think forgiveness meant I had to act like nothing happened. When my friend hurt me, I thought forgiving them meant pretending we were fine. But that felt fake, and it didn't help. True forgiveness acknowledges the pain while choosing to let go of its hold on you. Here's the heart of forgiveness: it's about you. When you forgive, you're not doing it for the other person, you're doing it to free yourself. Resentment is like holding onto a hot coal, hoping it burns someone else. Spoiler alert, it only burns you. Forgiveness is about dropping that coal. It's about saying, "I refuse to let this pain control my life anymore." It's a gift you give yourself, a chance to reclaim your peace, your joy, and your power. I love what author Anne Lamott says: forgiveness is giving up all hope of a better past. You can't change what happened, but you can change how it affects you moving forward. That's the liberation forgiveness offers. Here's another key truth: forgiveness isn't a one-and-done moment. It's not like you wake up one day, say, "I forgive you," and poof, everything's perfect. Forgiveness is a process. Some days, you might feel at peace, other days, the hurt creeps back, and that's okay. Think of it like healing a physical injury. If you break your leg, you don't just decide to walk again, you go through physical therapy, take small steps, and give it time. Forgiveness is like emotional therapy. It takes patience, practice, and self-compassion. When I was working on forgiving my friend, there were days I felt so free, like I'd let it all go. Then I'd see a photo of us together, and the anger would bubble up again. That's normal. The key is to keep choosing forgiveness, even when it's hard. Over time, it gets easier, and the weight gets lighter. So, to recap, forgiveness isn't about condoning or forgetting, it's about releasing yourself from negativity and embracing a process of healing. It's a powerful choice, and it's one you can make for you. Now, let's talk about how to actually walk that path. Okay, we've talked about why forgiveness matters and what it really means. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually forgive someone, or even yourself? The path to forgiveness involves 3 key steps: acknowledging the hurt, letting go of revenge, and choosing compassion. Let's break it down. The first step is to face the pain head-on. This might sound scary, but you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. If you're pretending everything's fine or shoving your feelings down, resentment just festers. Start by naming the hurt. Maybe someone lied to you, abandoned you, or said something cruel. Write it down, say it out loud, or tell a trusted friend. For example, I feel betrayed because my colleague took credit for my work. Naming it makes it real, and that's where healing begins. Next, allow yourself to feel the emotions. Are you angry? Sad? Humiliated? Let those feelings come without judgment. I remember sitting with a journal, writing pages about how hurt I was by my friend's words. It was messy, there were tears, smudged ink, the works. But letting it out was like opening a pressure valve. Here's a tip: try a guided meditation or a quiet moment of reflection. Ask yourself, what am I feeling, and why? This step isn't about dwelling on the pain, it's about giving it space to exist so you can move through it. The second step is letting go of the desire for revenge or punishment. This is hard. When someone hurts you, it's natural to want them to feel the same pain, to pay for what they did. But here's the truth: holding on to that need keeps you trapped. Revenge might feel satisfying in the moment, but it doesn't heal. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Instead, try reframing it. Ask yourself, what do I gain by holding on to this? Then, what would I gain by letting it go? For me, letting go meant realizing my friend's apology, or lack of one, didn't define my worth. I didn't need them to grovel, I needed to free myself. One technique that helped was visualization. I imagined my anger as a balloon, and I pictured myself cutting the string and watching it float away. It sounds simple, but it was powerful. Try this: write a letter to the person who hurt you, but don't send it. Pour out all your anger, then burn or shred the letter as a symbol of release. It's cathartic. The final step is choosing compassion, for the person who hurt you, and for yourself. This doesn't mean you have to like them or invite them over for dinner. It means recognizing that they're human, flawed, and maybe acting out of their own pain. Compassion shifts your perspective. Instead of seeing them as the villain, you might see them as someone who's struggling, just like you. This doesn't excuse their actions, it just helps you let go of the anger. When I forgave my friend, I tried to understand their side. They were going through a tough time, and their words came from stress, not malice. That didn't make it okay, but it helped me feel less like a victim. I also had to show compassion to myself, forgiving myself for holding onto the grudge for so long. A great way to practice compassion is through empathy exercises. Try imagining the other person's life, their fears, their struggles. Or, recite a mantra like, "I choose peace over pain." Over time, compassion becomes a habit. These 4 steps, acknowledging the hurt, letting go of revenge, and choosing compassion, are the roadmap to forgiveness. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Next, let's explore why. Now, let's talk about the magic of forgiveness. When you let go of resentment and embrace forgiveness, it's like unlocking a treasure chest of benefits. Forgiveness transforms your life in 3 big ways. It brings inner peace, improves your relationships, and opens the door to a brighter future. First, forgiveness brings a sense of inner peace that's hard to describe. When you release resentment, it's like a weight lifts off your shoulders. You're no longer carrying that backpack of rocks, you're free to breathe, to relax, to be. Science backs this up. A study in the Journal of Health Psychology found that people who practice forgiveness have lower stress levels, better mental health, and even improved immune function. Why? Because when you forgive, you stop your body's stress response from running on overdrive. I felt this firsthand. After I forgave my friend, I slept better, my anxiety eased, and I had more energy. It was like I'd been living in black and white, and suddenly the world was in color again. Try this. The next time you forgive someone, notice how your body feels. Do you feel lighter? Calmer? That's the gift of peace forgiveness gives you. Second, forgiveness strengthens your relationships. When you let go of grudges, you show up as a better friend, partner, or family member. You're more open, more trusting, and more empathetic. Forgiveness also creates a ripple effect. When you forgive someone, it can inspire them to do the same. I saw this with my cousin Sarah. After she worked on forgiving her ex, she became more patient with her kids and reconnected with old friends. Her warmth came back, and people were drawn to her again. Plus, forgiveness fosters empathy. When you understand someone's flaws, you become better at seeing the world through others' eyes. This makes you a kinder, more compassionate person overall. Finally, forgiveness sets you free to move forward. When you're stuck in resentment, it's like you're tethered to the past. Forgiveness cuts that tether, letting you step into a future full of possibility. Think about it. How much energy do you spend thinking about someone who hurt you? What could you do with that energy if you let it go? Maybe you'd pursue a passion, deepen a relationship, or just enjoy life more. For me, forgiving my friend opened up space for new friendships and creative projects. I wasn't defined by that one hurt anymore. I was free to write a new chapter. Forgiveness doesn't just heal the past, it builds a brighter future. We've covered a lot: why resentment hurts, what forgiveness is, how to forgive, and its incredible benefits. Now, let's bring it home. How do you make forgiveness a part of your everyday life? Here are 3 practical ways to weave forgiveness into your routine. First, start with yourself. We're often our own harshest critics, beating ourselves up for mistakes or regrets. But self-forgiveness is the foundation of healing. Try this. Think of a mistake you're carrying guilt about. Maybe you said something you regret or missed an opportunity. Now, talk to yourself like you'd talk to a dear friend. Would you tell them they're worthless? No. You'd say, "You're human, you made a mistake, and you're still worthy of love." I struggled with this for years. I used to replay every awkward thing I'd said in social situations, cringing at myself. Then I started a practice. Every night, I'd write down one thing I forgave myself for. I forgive myself for snapping at my mom today. It felt silly at first, but it rewired my self-talk. Self-compassion is like oxygen, it fuels your ability to forgive others. Next, practice forgiving others, even when it's tough. Start small, maybe forgive a coworker for a snarky comment or a driver who cut you off. These little acts build your forgiveness muscle. For bigger hurts, use the steps we talked about: acknowledge the pain, let go of revenge, and choose compassion. And remember, you don't have to forgive everyone all at once. Some wounds take time, and that's okay. One trick that helped me was the forgiveness prayer. I'd silently say, "I release you from the pain you caused me, and I wish you peace." It didn't mean I was okay with what happened, it just helped me let go. Try it the next time someone frustrates you. Finally, use tools like journaling or meditation to make forgiveness a habit. Here are a few ideas. Journaling: write about a grudge you're holding, then explore what forgiving that person might look like. Meditation: try a guided forgiveness meditation, there are tons on YouTube. Focus on releasing anger and inviting peace. Gratitude practice: each day, write down one thing you're grateful for about yourself or someone you're struggling to forgive. It shifts your perspective. I love journaling because it's like having a conversation with my heart. One night, I wrote about forgiving my friend, and I ended up crying, not from sadness, but from relief. It was like I'd finally set myself free. Wow, we've been on quite a journey today, haven't we? We've explored the heavy weight of resentment, the true meaning of forgiveness, the steps to get there, and the incredible ways it transforms your life. Most importantly, we've seen that forgiveness is a gift, one you give yourself to heal, to grow, and to live fully. I want to leave you with a challenge. This week, choose one person, or yourself, to forgive. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Maybe it's letting go of a small annoyance or writing a forgiveness letter you never send. Whatever it is, take that first step. You deserve the peace that comes with it. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and hit that subscribe button so we can keep exploring topics that matter to your heart. Drop a comment below, tell me who you're working on forgiving, or share a forgiveness tip that's helped you. I read every comment, and I'd love to hear from you. Let's close with one final thought. Forgiveness isn't about erasing the past, it's about creating a future where you're free to shine. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and keep spreading love. Thank you for watching, beautiful souls. See you in the next video.